Welcome to Bani Lehare's YouTube channel. Like and subscribe so that you are not left behind in the next coming series of our knowledge series. Today we are focusing on personal growth and self-improvement. There are quite a number of reasons why many people complain about their growth and their personal improvement. Now the question anybody can ask, why people fail to grow? Why people fail to improve themselves in whatever way possible? Now, quite a number of reasons that make people to stop improving themselves or growing is because we are not making an effort to learn. We are not just making an effort to learn. To learn whatever thing you want to learn. Learn from whoever you want to learn. Learn from people you love, learn from people you hate, learn from people who don't want you, learn from every opportunity you get into your life. That's when a person is really seriously prepared to grow and improve himself. Because from people you don't love, they are very valuable insights that they can tell you, and if you take that and use it to your advantage, then you can grow and become a better person. We stop setting goals. We set goals, and at times we just said, I'll see when I get there. In life, in this lifetime, you will never opt to see when you get there or to do anything when you arrive at a certain point. You have to have a goal. Know where you are going, because if you don't know where you are coming from, it's going to be difficult to know where you want to go to. So it's important to set up goals at most of the time. Now, when we set goals at time, we get sucked into them, and a person just stops along the way and finally gives up on the goal that he set. People make resolutions every year. But after 3 months, you ask a person, how far are you with the resolutions? Have you started that project you said you wanted to start? Surprisingly, he hasn't done anything because he got stuck. He just set that goal and just got fed up about the goal that he personally set. Now, when you look at statistics, it says 25% of us actually stick to the new resolutions that we make. And 8% out of the whole 100, 8% only achieve the set resolutions. So what does it say to us? Clearly, there is something wrong with how we set our goals. Now, the other reason that we might cite is we are not track-minded about growth. We are not track-minded about growth. So, which means most people don't think growth, they think growth is linear. Now, assuming that you can only grow in one way or the other. But what is important is when you grow, allow yourself to grow, allow your mind to grow, allow your soul to grow, allow your spirit to grow, allow your physical form to grow. Grow in many areas of your life so that you can be a complete human being, because you are using all facets that are available to your growth. Now, growth is painful. That is why many people hate growth. It's very, very painful. Because immediately you say to yourself, I want to become a better person. One thing that you need to understand is that you are inviting problems to yourselves. Some problems are far from you, but you begin to invite them to yourself. Because immediately you want to shift out of the comfort zone and get into a track of activity and focus in what you want to achieve for yourself. It's painful. Some people are going to laugh at you and say, but for all these years you have been seated, now when you are getting old, you start doing something. Why didn't you do it when you start? And it all depends into your mindset, how you have adjusted your mindset when you informed yourself and accepted that I want to grow, I want to improve myself, I want to become a better person. But you, as I say, you understand, immediately you say I want to become a better person, you are inviting all the negatives that are standing there watching at you. and they will definitely are not going to spare you. So you got to have a very positive, strengthened mindset, so that when these negatives attack you, you can stand firm and get grounded, so that you can move without any fear, without any favor, so that and focus into what you want to achieve to yourself. Now, many a time we want things and we forget that we are people who have no order. You see, if you have no order in your life, you are orderless, then you are going to have a big problem. You have to first adjust the order in you. Have order. Know when are you going to do something? When are you going to do the other thing? When are you going to do the next thing? Why are you doing it? Have reasons for anything. You know, a person who has order in his life, anything that he does, there is value in it. Every person he meets, there must be value out of that meeting. Every person he befriends, there must be value in that friendship. You know, it's when you have order in your life. But if you don't have order in your life, everything it's okay with you. Everything, whether it's something that when you listen to it, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't grow you, you just accept it because you're an orderless person. So order is very important. Today, many men of stature have gone wrong because they have no order. You know, a person starts at the bottom and he climbs up the ladder of life, and people admire him, and he gets applause from different sections, from different people, and he feels he's on the right wave as he climbs this ladder of life. And when he's up at the top there, he begins to become an orderless person. We have seen them, many of them. They fell, they came rolling down from the top to the bottom. And unfortunately, some have hit the bottom and they went into the bottomless pit. They never came up again. So order is very important. Anything you do, there must be a reason why you do it. Whether you do a right thing, there must be a reason for doing the right thing. Whether you do a wrong thing, there must be a reason for doing the wrong thing. When people ask you, but you have been talking about doing things right, why did you do this wrong thing? Then there must be a reason that you give them why you decided to do this wrong thing. Now, that's when you have order. Remember, personal growth. Remember that personal growth is unique to each one of us, and it's different. It's not one size fits all when we talk about personal growth, because there are many phases that you're going to be going through. You know, and you must understand, it's not an overnight thing. That I want to improve myself, I want to become a better person. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to take you time. There is a duration that you have to spend. There is time that you have to go through. There are so many things. There are ups and there are downs that you'll be going through them, and you got to be prepared to go through whatever situation you'll be faced with, so that at the end of the day you see yourself a successful person or achieving what you set yourself to achieve. Now, personal growth is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey. Anybody who says I want to grow personally, I want to improve myself, it's a journey, and you must be prepared to take that journey. It's not gonna be 2 months. It's not gonna be 2 years. It might not even be 3 years. It might even be you might start to realize the spark and the achievements of what we have been going through, maybe around the 5th or the 6th year. So you got to be very patient with yourself and patient with anything that you do. You got to be compassionate with yourself throughout this process, because if you are not compassionate with yourself, you'll lose yourself along the way. We have seen many people starting a very wonderful journey, but along the way, they have lost it. Now, there are phases that you'll be going through. Now let's look at this phase. Maybe we can say it's phase number 1, self-awareness. Now, when you deal with self-awareness, it might easily take you 3 months to deal with self. Just be aware of yourself. Now, what is important when we talk about self-awareness? Identify the values that you want to be to live up to. Identify the goals. What is your goal? What is your goal? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years from today? Where do you want to have? What do you want? Just paint that picture of yourself in 5 or in 2 years, in the first 3, in the short term, in the medium term, or in the long term. But just paint that picture. But values are very important. Values are very important. Men and women of stature, along the way, they lost their values and they became valueless. As you become valueless when you are up there in the sky, they say, it's said, the higher you go, the colder it becomes. When you are in the cold weather and you lose your values, you will crumble from up there down into the bottomless pit. We see them every time. Men of stature falling down, women of stature falling down from the high, the most highest positions, falling down. Because why? They sacrificed their values, or they forgot their values, or they became in a comfort zone that those values never mattered anymore as they were mattered when they went up the ladder. So values are very, very important. Reflect on them as your priority. Rather lose friends or lose help from other people because of your values. Stick to your values. If you have set yourself values, stick to them. Now, set yourself a smart goal. Now, smart goals in a short, be very specific what you want. Huh? And measure every distance you want to travel. Measure it so that you can do it with the full strength and the ability to perform whatever needs to be performed within that measure. Is it achievable, what you are setting yourself to? Yes. If it's achievable, then go for it. It must be achievable. It must be relevant to the situation that you want to see yourself achieving. And finally, it must be time-bound. So goals are time-bound. They just don't go forever and ever and ever. That is why I always say to most people, rather become a progressive person in your life than wanting to become a successful person. Because people who says I'm successful, those are people who say I have arrived. You cannot say you have arrived in this lifetime. You can't say you have arrived in this lifetime. Be progressive. Because if you are a man or a woman of progress, every step that you take and you achieve what you set yourself to achieve, then you compliment yourself. Then you set another step. Then each time you achieve what you set yourself to achieve, you compliment yourself. That's how a progressive, those small little steps that you take moving forward, that is what you must compliment. And that is what makes you you. And that is what takes you to the next level where you want to see yourself at. Now, it's important to recognize within you talents and skills that you have, the natural skills you have. You cannot tell me there is a person who has no skills. We have skills that are lying dormant, unused, and we never had even an opportunity to tap into those skills because we are afraid to look deeper into ourselves. We are comfortable to look at other people and say whatever we want to say and criticize them and compare them. It's easy. But we are very scared as human beings to look into ourselves and say, what are the skills that I have? What are the skills that I need to achieve this goal? So that if you don't have those skills, you will have the guts to say, how do I accumulate those skills? How do I really polish my abilities to be in line with what I set myself to achieve? Because every goal needs skills, every goal needs talent, every goal needs attributes that we have. So where do you get all those things? They are embedded within us. And that's why it's important that you become so brave to tap into yourself and search deeper and deeper and deeper in yourself and looking for those skills, looking for those attributes, looking for those talents, looking for those strengths that you can take out. And they must help you in your actions towards your goals. Acknowledge areas of improvements. Along the way, you'll have you have to see improvements in its gradual form, and it's important to acknowledge every area for improvement. Never look down upon yourself. Step up, because you said, I want to become a better person. Now, as I said to you, it's not an overnight thing. It's a journey. It's a process. Now, begin to recognize within you the negative thoughts, patterns, and habits. What habits do you have? What negative habits do you have? What negative patterns do you have? Now, you can look back where you come from, years that you have traveled, and say, what were the negative things that I really demonstrated? And then begin to cultivate and remove them gradually, because negativism will never take you to your success. Negativism will always derail you. So what are those negative thoughts that you can sacrifice and say, this one, let it go. I'm prepared to let it go. This one and that one and that and that and that, I'm prepared to let them go. It's when you are serious about taking a journey forward to becoming a better person. Now you got to identify within you those sabotaging thoughts and behaviors. You know, we think most of the time other people sabotage us. No, we sabotage ourselves, because we embedded in ourselves these disempowering thoughts and disempowering patterns of behavior. Now, those behavior, identify them and remove them on your way, because the more they keep on coming, they are wasting your time. Those are time wasters within yourself. So cultivate them, find them, and do away with them. Within you, identify the challenges, begin facing the challenges, and refrain from negative patterns. You know, you have to make a resolution that as of today, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z, because these are negative thoughts. And analyze them so that you understand them better. If you say laziness is a negative thought, analyze laziness. Laziness is dangerous. Laziness will never afford me an opportunity to get to the next level. Laziness will always give me reasons for not doing anything that I wanted to do. Laziness it's a waste of time. Identify it. Laziness, it's a demon. Some people don't understand that there are demons who really portray laziness, and they emit laziness, and they push in their lives laziness into, because if they find a space within you, the demons find a space sitting in you, and that's a lazy demon, it will make you become a lazy person. So identify those demons, be they, and do away with them, because you cannot want to be a successful person when you are lazy. Lazy people don't end up successful. Show me any lazy person who has been successful in his lifetime. It's not. So analyze any negative so that you have concrete reasons why I had to do away with this habit. I had to do away with this thought. I had to do away with this behavior. I had to do away with this feeling. So that as you move in your road, when you see them coming up, you just discard them and you keep on moving. And in that way, it's when a person has you are not sabotaging yourself. You are facing up to challenges, negative challenges in their for various patterns, so that you can see yourself moving forward all the time, because you don't want to see yourself getting stuck along the way. And not because every day when you wake up, you ask yourself, how far am I from my goal? How far am I from my growth? Am I growing? How much have I grown in these 10 days? How much have I amassed in these 5 days? Now that must be your concern as you move forward, because it is never easy, but it is possible. Now develop compassion within yourself, mindfulness. develop compassion. Practice self-kindness and understanding. Cultivate mindfulness throughout meditation or journaling. At times you need to meditate as a way to help you cultivate these qualities so that you become compassionate to yourself. You become kind to yourself. You are able to compliment yourself when you have achieved what you set yourself to achieve. You are able to reprimand yourself when you think you were just about to get out of order. Then you reprimand yourself so that you become and get into line and be in order for what you intend to become. Now that on its own, it's painful because you have got to deal with yourself in a rightful manner, not in a manner that will discourage you. Never say ugly words about yourself. Never say, I cannot do this. Never say, I am not fit to this. This is not good for me. Never say such words, because those are negative words that will discourage you along your way. Rather, affirm yourself all the time. Affirm yourself all the time. Tell yourself good things all the time. Compliment yourself about good things. Be positive minded. Be as a kind person will never say, I am foolish. If you are kind to yourself, you never say to yourself, I am foolish. You'll never say to yourself, I'm not able to do this. This is difficult. You'll never say this. Everything along the way, you open yourself, you open your heart, you open your mind to learn what you did not know, because you realize on where I want to go, I need this information. I need this knowledge so that I can become a better person, and a person who will be able to achieve within record time what I intended to achieve. Now, when we look at phase 2, then you deal with your emotional healing. Now you look into your emotion. It will also take you time. It's not these things are not overnight achievements. It's a process, and you have to allow yourself a process. Set yourself time. Say, okay, in 3 to 6 months, I want to deal with my emotion. I must heal my emotions. I must look at my emotional intelligence. I must work on it day and night. Address it in whatever form I can. Now when you begin to look at your emotional healing, then you look at the past traumas and emotional baggage that has really befell you in the past. You now, what you were afraid to look at, you now hold it by the horns and you face it. Now let's just set up an example. Here's a lady, or here's a person. He has been put in a traumatic situation. Now, as you want to better yourself, you now play this video, that traumatic video. You play it yourself. This time, you play it from a position of strength, not from the position of weakness as it used to happen. Now you look at it, because that's it. You want to do an emotional healing. Now, obviously, you have to face the trauma that befell you. But this time, you face it with the intention of being above it. You take control of your situation. That time, you're not able to take control of the situation. But now, when you replay it, you take control of your situation, so that you have to do away with it. It must not keep on disturbing you as you go forward. Now, that's where many people fail to realize that whatever traumatic situation you have gone through, name any traumatic situation that you have gone through, you have to begin to deal with it. Emotionally, you have to deal with it. Mentally, spiritually, you have to begin to deal with it. Now, you bring it up and you look at it this time and say, yes, 2-3 years back, I would feel very hurt. This would hurt me. This will make me cry. But this time, you replay that video. You see the traumatic situation that we're going through, and you say, I'm in a better way to handle it. I no longer want you in my life. I'm completely removing you as one of the cabbages the baggages that I've been having in my life. Today and here and now, I want you to get out of my life. I want to forget you. I no longer want you to become a stumbling block as I move forward. Then you deal with it. And this is where many people have lost it, to deal with traumatic situations that have happened in them. You can't keep on crying for the rest of your life, my brother. You can't keep on crying for the rest of your life, my sister. You can't be holding on this traumatic situation for the rest of your life. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You don't need people's sympathy. You don't even need your sympathy about this traumatic situation. So this is the time to get rid of it forever out of your life. So you are now at a better position, in a position of control, where you are able to say to it, get out. Get out of my mind. Get out of my life. Get out of my emotions. Get out of my thoughts. I no longer want to see you. Now you are commanding it. We are in a position of command because God, the Almighty, has given us all the abilities. He says, I cannot give you problems that you cannot handle. We are capable of handling these problems, but we have looked down to ourselves so much that we have ruled ourselves off. We have written ourselves off, but God has not written us off. So my brother, my sister, it's a time that you deal with your emotional healing. Heal your emotions. Nobody can do it better than yourself. Nobody can do it better than yourself. You have the ability to do it. And that is why I'm saying this. I'm saying it with all the convictions. I'm saying this with all the sincerity. I'm saying this with all the honesty. You can deal with all the traumas that has faced you. If you don't know, at times you go and learn how to deal with these traumas. Get somebody. Talk to somebody. You know, we can deal with this situation. You see, the problem with us, we depend too much on other people. Yes, you can't do all things alone, but there are things at times you have to handle. You know, you have to handle them on your own because you realize how much they hurt you. The next person will talk from a different position than the position you are in. You have been a victim of this situation. So you understand every corner, every angle of it. So you are best positioned to destroy those angles. You are best positioned to do away with all those parameters that are facing you. Seek professional help where if you feel you need it. Go out, look for a professional help. If you can't handle it, then let somebody help you handle it. And as they handle it for you, don't become a spectator. Don't become a spectator of yourself, but become a participator. Become a participator. Whatever they tell you to do, go out there on your own. Do what they told you to do in their absence. Now, in that way, you'll be helping yourself. Practice self-care and emotional regulation. Self-care is important. You know, we got to understand one thing. There is no person who can care for you better than yourself. Huh? There is no person in this lifetime who can care for you better than yourself. Only God can care. God cares for us. Your husband will not do it to 100%. Your wife will not do it up to 100%. Your children will not do it up to 100%. But you, as you watch me, you can do it. So get out there and do it. Just amass the strength within you. Don't tell yourself, I don't have the strength. You have all what it takes to get out of the situation. You are setting yourself to become somebody in the future. So you got to be involved. You got to be responsible for everything. You got to be accountable for everything that's happening to you. Whether is it bad, whether is it good, you must be responsible and accountable to it. So that is why I say practice self-care. Care for yourself. Don't be proud of yourself. There's a difference. People who are proud, they're different. But people who care for themselves, that's another thing. So this time I'm saying to you, care for yourself. So that then you go into a process of emotional regulations so that you can regulate your emotions. anything that happens, the anger that people want to throw to you, you are able to handle it. And you can see it coming from a distance. Practice forgiveness. Yeah? Practice your forgiveness, because when you forgive others, you set yourself free. But when you hold grudges against others, you put yourself in emotional jail. Now, you can't live for the rest of your life in emotional jail. Some people are living in emotional jails, but they are outside, and their life is miserable. They cry day and night. They need help day and night. How much you try to help them, how much they go back into the emotional jail. So practice forgiveness. When I mean forgiveness, I mean forgiveness. It doesn't matter what people have done to you. The magnitude of the hate that they've leveled on you, it doesn't matter. But what matters is, I forgive them for all the things that they've done. That is why when we pray, we say, Our Father who art in heaven. I don't know if you understand what we are saying when you say, Our Father who art in heaven. You are simply saying, all the people who hate me, all the people who love me, all the people who have done me wrong, all the people who have caused me pain, all the people who killed my children, I pray for you. Not in a negative sense, but in a positive sense, because all of us, our Father is one. And when you pray, you encompass them, you put them into your prayer. You pray for them as well. It doesn't matter whether they hate you, it doesn't matter whether they love you, it doesn't matter. But the fact that they are human beings made in the image of God, when we pray, we encompass them. That is why forgiveness is such an important thing in our lives. So all the time we have to forgive others, so that we can be forgiven. When we pray, we say, forgive us as we forgive those who trespass against us. Are we saying the truth? You know, at times we say things for the sake of saying them. Don't get out of the way. If you want to grow, get out of the habit of saying things that you don't mean. Get out of that way. Anything you say, it must be truthful, it must be honest, it must be value-adding in what you want to achieve in your lifetime. So forgiveness is one of those things. Yes, at the beginning it can be difficult, but practice makes perfect. Keep on forgiving. Keep on forgiving. As you master the forgiveness process, you compliment yourself. You pat yourself on the back. Release grudges and negative emotions in your space. Negative emotions, they will never make you grow. Negative emotions, they'll never make you become an improved person. They'll always, those are barriers in your life. So do away with them. We have said all these attributes and how you can grow yourself. Now, I think we will end up in this as part of our part 1 series. It's too long. And I want you to go and practice this part 1 series and see how it can benefit you, because part 2 will be coming soon. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening. May this video really add a big difference in your life as a person who aspires to grow and to be successful in your life.